The term track 2 diplomacy was coined in 1981 as unofficial interactions between individuals from groups, nations that are in conflictual relationships. So when we talk about track 2, we talk about it in the context of track 1, meaning official diplomacy, official negotiations between government. And then there is also track 1.5, which is often referred to as backchannel diplomacy, where you have official actors that meet in their personal capacities in a dialogue that's usually facilitated by a non-official third party. And usually these are done because one or both of the parties do not want to reveal that they are meeting. So these dialogues happen in strict secrecy. There are 4 conditions that need to be present for track 2 to have a chance at succeeding. 1, we are dealing with a protracted conflict. 2, communication between the parties are either non-existent or limited. 3, a track 1 process has already been launched. 4, there is an identifiable base of common interest between the parties. So if these 4 conditions are present, history and analysis of track 2 efforts to date show that track 2 has some chance at producing some results and at making some impact. Now, what are the benefits? The benefits of track 2, it is an unofficial space. So whatever is discussed is non-binding. And because it's non-binding, it creates opportunities for brainstorming, for thinking outside the box, for looking at conflicting issues through different angles, and for really listening to where the other side is coming from. What are the drivers of their position? That's another benefit is that it creates spaces for people to gain negotiation skills, decision-making skills, analytical skills. Another benefit of track 2 is that sometimes it keeps momentum for negotiations and for peace alive, especially when you have a track 1 process that has been blocked. As for example, in the case of Syria, we have a, inter-Syrian negotiations supposed to take place in Geneva, but this has been, they have been blocked for a long time, mostly because of the Syrian government unwillingness to participate in good faith in this negotiation. And since the start of the conflict, there has been a lot of, track 2 efforts dealing with different aspects of the Syrian conflict. Now, what are the challenges of track 2? The challenges is that, remember, many of these track 2 involve a small circle of participants, 20 to 30 people. So one challenge is how can you take the understanding, the knowledge gained within this small room, or by this group of 30 people, and take them beyond this room and try to popularize these ideas out in the public arena. That's one challenge. Another challenge is when there is a T1 that is blocked, when there is a track 1 process that is blocked, how can you keep and sustain a track 2 diplomatic effort? Third challenge, and especially because it is track 2, it's unofficial, is how can you get the right people to represent the different sides around the table? And fourth, and most importantly, is funding. How to fundraise for it, especially if you are talking about a sustained effort that takes years and years to develop.